Hello everybody, and welcome to my stream. Today we are going to be doing some design work, and we're going to be using Manga Studio as our platform to be drawing on. So what we are going to do, let's just set it up as A5, set up our canvas, and let's just make it bigger. How are you guys doing today? Hi! If you guys have any questions at any given point, make sure to put them in the chat, and I will be more than happy to. What's up, man? So, what we are going to do today, we are going to be designing donut villains. What I mean by donut villains is we got to make a donut character into the arch nemesis of a ninja. So, we are going to, it could be something as simple as why is this doing this at 50%? Oh, there. That's right. Let me just get my brushes right. There you go. Okay, so what we're going to do is just going to take a donut. How do you take a simple donut and how do you make that into an evil character, like a supervillain or something like that? It could be something as simple as rah, rah. It could be something as simple as this, but it has to actually read as a supervillain, and it has to match this style. Here, let me see if I can find it for you guys. Okay, so it has to match this look, if you guys can see it. This dude right here. Oh shit. Okay, this dude, that's who it has to match. So it has to be something that looks similar to that guy, but that goes along with him at least. So what we're gonna do is, first of all, we're just gonna grab that image. Since that's the style that we have to match, just gonna set it up there. I'm gonna scale it small in the corner, just so we have a visual reference of it. Okay, and from this point, see, the whole story behind it, the basic premise was that this little ninja, this dude, the donut, believes that he stole his center. The ninja stole his center, so therefore he's trying to recover the center from the ninja. So therefore, that's why he hates him. Okay. So that's the first step. Second step is actually getting research onto what ninjas look like, and so forth and so forth. So we're going to go on our trusty Google, and then we're just gonna search for a ninja cartoon, since we got to do it super simple. Go to images, and this pops up, right? It's super simple. we got to start taking notes of the things that stand out for us when it comes down to the actual ninja, looks. So what we can see is, since we're not necessarily making a ninja, we're making a villain to a ninja, we can take some elements of this and then just play around with it. It could even be something different that's not a ninja. It could be like a, like mariachi donut or a samurai donut, or, it could just be anything really. But looking at this, every ninja has bandanas. So maybe we should try one with a bandana. So, bandana. Then the next thing that they have, it seems to be gray suits with, with red or some adjacent color. Accent. Weapons. And, ninja stars and stuff like that. Swords. Let's see what else. Just looking around. They have bandages and stuff like that. We might be able to play with that. And yeah, let's see. Just based on that, we can actually start going. So we have that. I'm just gonna have that on the side as well, just so we remember what we are doing, because I do have horrible memory, so I tend to forget what I'm doing. And from this point on, let's start, designing. Donuts are pretty simple, obviously. And right now we're gonna do just basic, simple sketches. And if we have time, I will take these and show you guys how I go about vectorizing them so it has a super clean look like this one does. So we have a donut. Right? Super simple. Boom, boom, boom. So since we are going to be doing multiples of these guys, how do you copy them? There you go. Okay. Combine even that, so I don't need this. I think we figured out enough. So we're gonna move these up. So today we're gonna make a total of 8 different designs. Okay, so what we're gonna do, just gonna have this. I'm gonna ghost it out a little bit, and we're just gonna use that as a template. So at this point, let's see. What should we do for the first one? I'm gonna let you guys decide. We have 4 viewers on the chat. What would you guys like the first donut to be? It can be anything you guys want. So you guys can name some ridiculous stuff if you guys want. I'll leave it up to you. Anybody? What happened to your mustache? I accidentally shaved my mustache when I was cutting my hair, because I have no hair. No hair at all. So I normally just, buzz it every day. I thought that I could buzz my facial hair slightly slimmer, so I could just have like a very light, beard, but I accidentally cut it too much and now I look like a child. Okay, so make the donut have a fancy mustache to make it a reminder of your shaved mustache. Okay, sounds good. Let's do that. Make sure that you are on your drawing layer, not... There you go. What type of donut should it be? Should it have sprinkles? Should it have like weapons. What do you want him to have? It's gonna have him have a glorious mustache. I always wanted a handlebar mustache, but it just never grows long enough. I don't like that, is there? Density. The fuck? Oh, that's not it. It's eraser. Okay. A chocolate flavor? Curious on the software. I use Creative Cloud and Sketchbook Pro. Love your work, man. Just got Twitch today to watch. Oh, sweet. Thanks, man. So the software that I'm using is Manga Studio or Clip Art or Clip Studio Paint. It used to be called Manga Studio. I think they just changed the name of it. So it's super simple to use. I mean, if you know Photoshop, if you know any of those programs, it's super simple to pick it up because it's essentially the same thing. Only the thing that I like the most out of this program is that it gives you a lot of different options. Let's see. Let's see if I can find these. So, for example, if you have all these different assets, right? So you can go to poses, so you can select a pose, drag it onto your desktop, and then from here, you know, you can start posing characters according to however you want. This is a really awesome tool that I like. You know? Yay! So this is a really let's go back. This is a really cool tool that you can use to, you know, create a basic pose for your character, and then you can just go from there. And it just makes it into a layer, so you can just delete it. There's other things like entire bodies that are already posed, hands if you guys have issues with hands. There's like, you know, things for like comic books. Oh man, there's a ton of things in here. You know, so there's character parts, motion, textures. It's just insane how much stuff that you have. There's backgrounds. And you can just download other stuff too. So people have created all these different elements that you guys can use. But Photoshop doesn't have that. And, you know, when it comes down to just plainly illustrating, I think that Manga Studio is a stronger program. So sweet, haven't used it yet. I have to do some more work handling Photoshop. I've been mostly working with pencil and paper for quite some time. Pencil and paper are perfectly fine. I mean, nothing beats a good pen and paper, like sketch. You know, that's why I draw in my little sketchbook every day. Like, I always wanted, you know, I romanticize the idea of doing everything digital. But nothing beats just putting pencil to the paper. Nothing. We might just give them eyebrows. Maybe not eyes, just eyebrows. And then, let's see. So it would be a chocolate donut. Make sure that when you're designing stuff, since this is a really simple character, we don't have to go too much into like anatomical, references or anything like that. But if it came down to like an actual real character, you might want to start like looking up ethnicities and what makes certain, if we like, for example, like Native American, look up different Native American references and make sure that you are drawing things appropriately. So these are just roughs for now, so we don't have to have like perfect lines. So we have that, eyebrows, and let's go on mouth. He's gonna be grumpy, but the mouth would probably be right underneath the mustache. He'd be grumpier because he's mad. Okay, that's good for basic, and let's give him hands. So it's a super simple character, so maybe just give him floating hands, like floating Mickey Mouse hands. And then we'll just make them floating off the ground for this one. Alright, gonna add a layer so we can give it some quick color. See, I am actually colorblind, so colors are always really tricky for me. So this, I think it's brown-ish, but it probably isn't. Let's see. Just gonna fill it all in, all sloppily. Just make sure we saturate the area. Just go in and delete all the extra stuff we don't need. Yeah, I could just make selections and delete it, but I find this all kind of therapeutic, just going in and putting the strokes on the screen. Even if it kind of sounds stupid because it's extra work. But I don't know, I just enjoy it. Okay, so we have that. Alright, so we have more stuff on the chat. Have to do some work. Photoshop, I've been mostly working with pencil and paper. Wow, amazing for practice. You got me started on my moleskins and just doodling. Starting to work now on body and anatomy. That's great. Body and anatomy. That's probably the two top things that you need to work about. I don't know if this is the latest version of Manga Studio, but I'm pretty sure it's one of them. I think it's Manga Studio 5. I think that's what I have. But like I said, it just says Clip Studio, so I don't really know. How long have you been streaming? This is probably my third stream ever. So not streaming much. Now that I have a lot more free time to myself, I'm gonna be able to stream more. So I'll be able to, come on here and stream with my, sketchbooks and actually show you guys how I draw every single day. And I think that would be kind of cool. I saw you come online. I was testing my connection earlier today. So that's probably why you saw me online and then saw me log off. like I said, these are super simple. They're not meant to be super refined. And the way that I would go about it is I would do these, and then after doing them, I would go back and show them to the client, and then once the client decides on which one they like, then I would go ahead and I would follow up and do more. Alright, so let's combine these two together. We're gonna cut this guy out, or we're just gonna move him to the side. Okay, so we have one done. What's gonna be the next one? Let's see. Your colors are always fun though. Thank you. Drew, awesome, amazing says, Rodgon, how's it going? I heard you quit your last job to do your own business. Yes, I quit my job to just follow my own path. I've always hated being someone else's employee. And you know, I found myself in a good spot. I have a decent amount of followers, and I don't know, it just felt like the right time to make the move. So I saved up a bunch of money, and after I saved up a lot of money working at this 9 to 5, I told myself that I would attempt at least to do my own thing. And if it worked, it would be amazing. And if it didn't, then I can always find another, you know, job doing design work somewhere. I have a lot of experience doing that shit, so it's not gonna be hard to find a different job. But I don't want a different job. I just want to be my own boss. I want to be able to create content for myself and make myself profitable with the work that I do, instead of making some other schmuck rich off the illustrations that I do. Okay, so the next one will be a bad cosplay of Shredder. Okay, cool. So, since we are going to be making a cosplay of Shredder, we are going to look up Shredder. And let's see, Shredder is super cool. I think we're going to use this one. So, I'm gonna copy the image. We're gonna paste it in here. It's tiny, but that's all we need. Okay. So in this case, the donut is gonna be a cosplay of Shredder. So, okay. Can't lose the switch. There you go. So, in this case, we're gonna give him a mask. Boom. He's gonna have this little thing going for him. And he's gonna have the samurai thingies. But remember, we still have to make him look like a donut. So, this gets a little tricky, because we might have to eliminate the mask underneath and just give him the samurai-ish thing on top. That way we still retain the shape of the donut underneath, but he still has those Shredder elements too. So, Mike Tyson. I drew a barbershop logo for a guy. He said he liked it, came back and said he changed his mind, but I think he ran with my sketch idea. That's not okay. When it comes down to situations like that, I am hoping that you actually signed the contract with the guy. And if you did sign a contract, then you're protected to a certain extent. You can, you know, if they ran with your sketch, you can, if you have, you know, a contract stating that they can't use your ideas or intellectual property unless they buy it, then you can take them to small claims court and either send them a cease and desist or, you know, just straight up sue them. But unless you actually have that contract, and most people don't make contracts, especially if they're sort of friends, I'm kind of gonna say that it sucks because there's not much you can do about it. You can always like scare them. You can scare them and tell them that, you know, if since they used your logo, like, you know, your idea for the logo, and you have the original sketches, you can take them to court if they don't, you know, pay you for creating the design. But unfortunately, without any proof of that, it's not going to amount to much. So that's why I always, you know, I always push people to get logos. No, to get contracts done with everything they do. Be it, you know, just anything from a logo to, you know, a simple drawing that people are going to use for t-shirts and stuff like that. You need to be able to have legal backing for it. Let's see. I never signed the contract. Do you know how I could find out about the contracts? Well, you can always ask them for a copy of it. If they're not being receptive, then they're probably, you know, they probably know that they're doing something wrong. But, man, it just becomes really tough. It's a really, really, like, bad scenario that you find yourself in right now. Mostly because it's really hard if you don't have a signed contract already. It's just really tough to get people to actually go along with, you know, actual legal procedures. And let's see, this one's gonna have its eyes right here. Ooh, we can make this bottom part into like a skull with the frosting. There you go. Okay. Let's add some quick color. Let's see. Yeah, don't run from contracts. Just learn how to do them. Let's see. Can he have sprinkles? He can definitely have sprinkles. I would imagine most people would even agree to wouldn't even agree to a contract if you're looking for work. Well, if they want work, you just have to make them realize that you won't do the work unless you have a contract. You'd be surprised. People tend to, you know, not take advantage of people, or if there are people that are trying to take advantage of someone, they will run from people that offer only to do work if you sign a contract. And that's good, because you don't want to deal with people like that. I'd rather have people just, you know, say no than since I know that they're going to be shady as fuck. As opposed to, you know, like finding a client that's actually going to pay what they're supposed to and sign the contract and know that there's legal ramifications if they fuck you over. Okay, so we have this. What type of donut should this guy be? Oh, you said sprinkles, right? So sprinkly donuts tend to be like pink. So we're gonna set the underneath color to like a tan, like a bread. And then I like strawberry donuts, so we're gonna make it pink. Pink with sprinkles. And just like in making it pink just kind of adds to the silliness of it, because you know he's trying to be like the super badass and can't really be a super badass if you're pink. And we're gonna give him white sprinkles. Okay, let's give him some highlights. Like I said, super simple. We're just keeping it super basic for now. And got these little floaty shadows. Okay, so this one is done too. What should the next one be? Yeah, standard contracts can be found online anywhere. I mean, all you gotta do is just search up contracts in Google. It'll pop up a couple different ones. Let's move the shredder. Actually, let's delete the shredder. We don't need the shredder anymore. No, I deleted the wrong one. That's our big brawly donut. Okay. What I'm doing right now is I'm merging it down to the donut like sketch layer, taking it, cutting it out, and then pasting it again, and then doing that makes it into its own different layer. So we can just turn it off and then move on to the next one. So what's the next one? Love it, he's so cool. Standard contracts can be found. Contracts also present you. Yeah. Contracts also present you more professionally and makes clients take your dealings more serious and protects them too. Yeah, if you don't deliver, then they have a legal ramification against you. So you have to, you know, if you make a contract, make sure you stick to it. You can't just, you know, make the contract and then flop out of it and expect not to have ramifications of your own. It's pricing for me that I find the hardest. Hard to value work and my time's perfect, man. Love him. Hey guys, so we have 6 viewers. What kind of donut should we draw this guy as? Remember, he's going up against this dude. Not Shredder. This guy. We're going up against this dude. So we have to make it super simple, but at the same time it has to look really cool. So let me make sure that I delete all that stuff. Okay, that's one. That's a shredder-ish. Any ideas, guys? Okay, well, I'm going to make like a cowboy one. Ugh. Make sure that when you're drawing on its own layer. See, cowboy hat. You gotta look up cowboy hat. The Flash. A dragon donut? Huh. How would that work? Let's see. Okay, let's just do it. So, I'm gonna imagine that it would be like a dragon cosplaying donut. So he would have like the mask of a dragon. But then we have to move the donut hole a little bit south. Change perspective a little bit. Because a dragon donut, oh man, I don't know how that would work. Keeping it like with the simplified look, I think this would be super like silly. And we'll give this one legs and arms. And we're gonna give him a big weapon. How about that? Dragon Warrior would probably have like a big fat axe, right? Or like a sword or something. Like a Chinese dragon? Nah. I don't like Chinese dragons. They look too much like lions. Let's see, what flavor would the dragon donut be? Like a swirly color? Alright, so he's going to have his X, and it's going to be going all the way across. Gotta streamline his face a little bit so it doesn't stand out too much from the other design. So keeping shape super simple. I like striped horns. I just like them. It's my thing. Actually, no, it's a thing that I started doing because a friend of mine used to draw all these cute little monsters with, you know, striped parts to them, a la Tim Burton. And I am trying to make her happy because she is a really good friend and she inspires me a lot. It's like the dumbest dragon. I don't like these. Just give him the eyebrow line. There. Mint green dragon. There you go. That works. And medieval weapon. So what are you guys up to today, besides seeing boring old me stream? You guys doing anything fun? I have a friend's bonfire later on today, so I get to go to the beach. Ooh, 7 deadly sins as cats, huh? That's what you're drawing today? That's cool. Okay. Hands. Hands are always fun to draw, aren't they? Everybody loves drawing hands. Yeah, everybody seems to have a lot of issues drawing hands. I used to as well. And then, but I had a lot of issues drawing hands, mostly because I never took the time to look at how hands actually work. It's, you know, there was a lack of actually understanding, and then just trying to do everything from from cartoon reference, which is not necessarily the best idea if you want to learn how to do better. See, my basic structure of hands. Quick little side lesson, just for you guys. Okay, hands. Hands are simple. They are not squares. No, 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 no. They have a taper to them. It's a very slight taper. This is the bottom of the hand. This is where it connects to the wrist, right? And then this is how I break it down. For the palm, I find a little squishy part that looks like a butt, which is this part right here. Then you have 2 little circles, which are your thumb, and then this part, right? So if you break it down like that, you already have the bottom of the palm, which connects to here. Then you have this, and you have an indication of where the thumb's going to go. So the thumb is broken down into 2 sections. A little, cylinder, and then the tip of the thumb. That's two sections, right? And then you have the ball. In this part, you can just delete this. Boom. For the fingers, we have 4 fingers. But for the most part, the middle 2 stay really close to each other. Like, they don't really separate much. So we can break those down into one single shape. If you bend your thumb, like if you take this measurement, it's about the same size. Unless you have really long fingers, this is for a basic hand, it's about the same size as a palm. And then it curves as well. That's how you get the small finger, the middle finger, and everything like that. So as you can see, it's already like super simple. Now the next breakdown. You see this part of the finger, we have this part that's longer, and then this part. Unless you go into the second part right here, I normally just break it down into 2 sections as well. We have here. Now if you go into much detail, then you can just separate that top section again, and then you have that, index. So that's how I break down my hands for the most part. You know, a quick little lesson for you guys. From the side, you have your arm, right? You got to make sure that you realize the limitations of your hand. It doesn't really go past this when you're looking up, and it can go straight down at 90 degrees. And it's not connected directly to the wrist. Imagine that there's like a little tiny ball right here, and then that's what separates it. That way you guys, you know, have a little, you know, separation between them. And then fingers. Yeah. But that's it. Like, it's just a tapered box with fingers, you know, indicating about the same distance. That's what helped me out a lot in the beginning. Let's see, back to donuts. Okay, so this one is going to be a mint green donut, isn't it? Okay. Mint green donut it is. And we have a little bit, oh, we have 9 viewers now. Hi guys, hi everybody, hi. It's snowing here in Canada. I'm actually really jealous of the snow. I like snowboarding. I've only been there twice, but I like it. I want to try it again. I'm actually doing boring stuff. I'm reading a book called what? Marxist? What's going on? Okay. Well, I don't know. I think the stream paused for a second. I don't know. It's not in Canada. I'm actually doing boring stuff. I'm reading a book called Marxist and Culture, and then doing cartoons. Huh. What is going on? Continue. Continue. Okay. Debug script. Come on. Hold on. I don't know, my stream just kind of got cut. Is anybody still there? Can you guys hear me properly? There you go. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Some stupid script, you know, like went all buggy and then it started like messing up. So let's get back to this. So we have that. We're gonna add some color. We're gonna make it mint green. There you go. Okay, so this guy's gonna be a mint green donut. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Let's keep it consistent. You can always color pick from I love this program so much, especially with the Wacom, because you can use your pen, and essentially the button allows you to color pick any color you want. So it's super easy to just go back and forth. You don't have to go in, make a palette. Essentially, if you have it on your screen, you can use it. And it saves a lot of time. What color should the dragon be? If this does it again, I'm gonna be pissed off. Okay. It's always really weird streaming. Like, I don't mind it at all. I kind of like it, but it's really weird because you're essentially showing everybody, you're putting yourself out there and then just showing everyone all the mistakes you make too. It's, when it comes down to streaming, there's no just finished product. It's literally, you have, one chance, one opportunity, like 8 Mile. And you just kind of go with it, and if you mess up, you mess up. A blue or dark green? Let's see. Let's go with, since we made it mint, let's go with greenish blue. So you're having the same issues when you stream? Man, that's not good. That just means that the website's buggy and not just me. I'd rather it just be me than other people having to go through it too. Make his shoes the same color. Alright guys, if you're just joining us right now, we are drawing Dragon Donut, and we drew some hands, and then we drew a Shredder Donut, and then we drew a big manly mustache donut. And these are all villains that are going to be for that guy right here. Alright, so going back to our donut. Okay, for the most part I think this one is almost done. Got a lot of details. Let's make sure the teeth. As I said, these are super simple, quick concepts. They're not meant to be super refined. Essentially, they're just there for the client to look at them, and they can decide which ones they like. And then we go from there. So we're going to do the same thing. This one and... Okay, I'm going to merge those two together. And that's our Viking donut. Okay. What should be the next one? What other donut should we draw? Let's get rid of the Shredder reference. There's it. Oh, I put it in there. So far we have Shredder Donut, Manly Donut, and Dragon Donut. And I didn't give this guy any faces. I actually think I like it like this. So we might do a couple more without a face, just because it just makes it into a donut instead of a character. So we might go with that. Alright, so we have those three. What should be the next one? A jelly donut. I am working on some concepts for I'm a ninja. A samurai bear claw. It has to, no, see, the premise behind the donut is that the ninja, this dude, stole the middle of the donut. Like, he punched him so hard that his middle came out. So, that's why he's trying to get back at him. You know, he wants the middle of his donut back. So, it can't be a bear claw, unfortunately. It has to be a traditional donut. What is this layer? Okay, I'm using that layer for drawing. A jelly donut. Let's see. How do you make... See, jelly donuts tend to be full, aren't they? But, let's see. I'm pretty sure we can do something with it. So we have a jelly donut that got its insides punched out, right? So it would just be oozing jelly. Right? I mean, we can work with that. It's gonna be a little gruesome because it's gonna look all red. Okay, so it would be like blah. And then we can just make them like super worried all the time. But he's still mad. And since I wanted to like add like a playful part 2 of him anyways. There you go. So what should he be? A pink sprinkle ninja clan. I'll do that one for the next one. Bear claws are delicious. And yes, the jelly is gonna be oozing out. Remember, the premise is that the ninja punched him so hard because he was doing something wrong that all his insides just, like, the middle of the donut just kind of like got punched out of him. Like, imagine this is the middle, just flying up because he got punched so hard. And this guy is just gonna have like very menacing hands, like gonna get ya. Same thing with the legs. Let's see, a raspberry. Okay, it'll be raspberry, but what is the frosting gonna look like on this one? Should it be like the swirly thingies, or what color frosting should we have on them? Mudberry claws are delicious. Jelly doozing out. Hey Bill, Pink Sprinkle, Ninja Clan. Let's see. I've been doing good, working on some projects now. You guys are talking amongst yourselves. I like that. So he's gonna be a raspberry filled donut. Make him even more devious, like wow. Okay. So we have this. Let's just add a little bit darker lines so it looks a little bit better. Like I said, super rough. I'm not going into heavy details. I'm not cleaning it up. This is just for super rough comps to get ideas out. Okay. Alright, so we have this guy, and let's give him some color. So raspberry filling. So raspberry is like that, I think. Like I said, I'm not too good with colors, but I try. I'm actually thinking of making an entire month, kind of like an Inktober thing, where I only draw without line work, which has always been like a dread for me, drawing without lines. So more like a painting, I guess, but I've never really been really good at it because I just kind of like shy away from colors because I'm colorblind. So I'm going to aim for an entire month of drawing without color, without line work. It's going to be like at least one drawing a day where I don't use lines. And hopefully by the end of the month, I'll be able to do it a little bit better. From there on, it's going to be, you know, an ongoing thing. So hopefully I get better at it. But maybe some of you guys can join me in that endeavor. We'll make it into like a social thing, like Inktober or whatever. Let's see. Kind of like him being white. This is a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be. It's the beauty of taking something like a super simple character and then just like seeing what you can do with it. Okay, so we have our crazy clown jelly raspberry filled donut with this middle punched out. Alright. Next one! What's the next one gonna be? Hey, we got a follower. Yay! Okay, we'll make a lemon and raspberry one for the next one. I'd love to do a live draw with you, Rod. Let's set up a time. Hey, man. If you're ever in San Diego again, we can go get a beer and draw. Any of you guys, if you guys ever find yourselves in San Diego, hit me up. I love going outside of my house, so you guys are more than welcome to come hit me up. See, Bill and me went to school together, you know, and check out his stuff too. Like, his stuff is awesome. It's good to be called No Line November. See, I don't want to wait till November though. I don't want to wait that long. So, if you guys can help me like brainstorm names of like cool ideas of what you can call it that's not in November, that would be awesome. Okay, so we have this guy. What's the next one gonna be? A Boston cream one, same concept. You have to make it a little bit different. If we make it Boston cream, it would have to be. You can make it into a zombie one. Yeah, let's make. Can do a Boston cream one. Let's make it into a zombie one instead of a. Okay. So this one will have like bites and stuff. This one will be leaving a trail. I'm going to draw the hands going up like wow. Remember tapered box? See, with the zombies, the fingers are always like messed up, so don't worry so much about like anatomy, just draw like twigs. Oh, dude. Yeah. Let me put some music on. I found these guys, right? These guys hit me up. And they have really cool music. So we're just gonna put some music on. Rah! See, I've always liked like electronic music when I'm working. I used to be a big fan of dubstep back when it was like untainted and like still like normal. I just really love the simplicity of the tunes. Okay, so we have this. Let's refine it a little bit. And this one is gonna be without legs. We're just gonna do this one. You remind me of an artist called Marcus Sakota. Let's look this guy up. Marcus Sakota. I'm kind of curious. No, not Sakota. Dude, but give me like an image. I'm really curious as to what I supposedly look like, or what he looks like, his artwork. I just really want to know. Oh yeah, Bill, if you come down for Comic-Con, you know, hit me up. Any of you guys, if you guys are ever in Comic-Con, hit me up. Like, I normally don't. I find my way into the convention one way or another most of the time, but you know, it's kind of like candy corn to me. Once every couple years, you forget, you know, like how it tastes, but it looks delicious, and then you taste it, you know, or you go inside Comic-Con and you're like, because I don't go to the panels, I don't do all that stuff. So I just go in there to like browse and like look at all the artwork and stuff like that. But it's not what it used to be. Comic-Con used to be amazing. Like, you used to go in there and people just gave you shit. And not that I just went there to like, collect stuff, you know, but now it's more about like movies and, you know, TV shows than it is about actual comics. So I'm not like a huge fan of it anymore. I still love it. I love going to all the things that they set up outside. And hopefully, if I'm lucky enough, I'll be able to go to the Texas one. I think there's one in Houston. And I might be there with these, you know, guys from I'm a Ninja. If everything works out the way that I expect it to, I should be there, you know, with them. Okay, so we have our Boston cream donut, zombie donut. Boston creams are normally, it's like a custard filling. So custard is like a pale yellow. Quick tip. Whenever you guys do highlights and shadows, try not to use black or like white. I know I'm using white right now for the highlights, but if you guys use just slightly darker colors of whatever you guys are using for the color, it looks a million times better. And slightly lighter for highlights. Boston cream. I'm guessing they're chocolate. No, it's not chocolate. It's not brown. Is this brown? I don't know. Close enough. Let's see, chat. Those lumpy donuts that are yellowish, right? Yeah, those ones. I never eat them, but I know they're good. Do you know Marcus Sakota? I don't know Marcus Sakota. I have no idea who that is. But if my artwork, I'm a horrible person when it comes down to remembering names. But if you show me his artwork, I might have seen his artwork. Like, I'm the most ignorant artist when it comes down to other artists. I just don't follow trends. I don't look up, you know, like news or like who's like hot, like who's trending. I just kind of do my own thing. And, you know, I have a good friend of mine. His name is Jerry Dunham. The Art of Jerry Dunham. Selfless plug. Uh, he's the one that always shows me like all the stuff that I should be like looking up. He's my, you know, R&D when it comes down to artwork. He's the one that like, you know, showed me like the guys from Creature Box, which I am in, you know, absolute love with now. He's the one that like showed me who, you know, Jake Parker is. And if it wasn't for him, like I wouldn't know half the stuff that I know. I don't know how like much of a villain to a ninja a zombie donut would be, but it's a cool concept. Let's merge it down and set it aside with the other ones. And we just start laying them out. Apply transformation. So now we have a handful of them. Might have to spread them out a little bit more. Okay, what's the next one, guys? What should be the theme for the next one? Comic-Con is expensive. It's a lot of money now. I remember when Comic-Con was like $12 to get in, $20 to get in, and you just went there and got a ticket on the spot. Like, if you went on a Sunday, there would be absolutely nothing that would keep you from actually just, you know, just going there, getting in, getting out, coming out with like a ton of loot, and then just going home. Now it's impossible to find parking. It's expensive as hell to find, you know, hotels and anything like that. So Comic-Con has become like a very, very annoying thing to go to. No, remember, these guys have to be like the villain to the ninja. They have to have like a slightly villainous theme. It can't be just like, you know, like Year of the Rooster or something like that. It has to be something else. I'm gonna just do one really quickly. I'm gonna make a mariachi one. What do mariachi hats look like? Hold on. Mariachi hat. Oh, there you go. Totally wrong. See, that's why you use reference, guys. This is what a mariachi hat looks like. That's why we use reference. And then they have little trimming. Gotta make sure that the chat doesn't disconnect. Stupid Twitch. So, and this one's gonna have guns, because the enemy of ninjas, like the opposite of a ninja, using like ninja stars and stuff like that, would technically be somebody that has guns, right? Pew 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 pew. Let's see. A Vader or Viking? A Viking one would actually work. Alright, Drew, if you're taking off, catch you later, man. Thank you for joining us. If you guys are watching and you guys haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe, because I will be streaming a lot more often now. So you gotta pay homage to my Mexican heritage. Super thick eyebrows. And super thick mustache. So any questions, guys? Do you guys wanna, like, feel free to ask me anything you guys want. You guys have my undivided attention while you guys have me here on stream. So take advantage and just ask out. Maybe a police donut would work. But, I mean, then it would have to go into, like, the whole scenario where the donut, like, the ninja punched the cop, right? And that gets, like, slightly into, like, political issues where everybody, you know, not liking cops and stuff like that. And this is just supposed to be, like, a super, like, you know, simple, you know, like political thing. So I don't know if I want to do that. You gotta like think into all the aspects of how the client is going to see things. You know, like I know like his name is Kennedy and he runs the website, and I know like a little bit of what he kind of likes and what he doesn't. And I'm pretty sure that he doesn't want to like put any controversial stuff in there, especially with this character. So I think we'll stick away from a cop or military, because it has to be them as the villains, and it's already like a stigma that cops and military are like the good guys, right? So we don't want to stain that. And the reason that I'm decent doing all these is because I used to do all these characters called minions. Let me see if I can find them. And I have like thousands of them. Well, no, not thousands. I have like hundreds of them. And so these guys. So I used to do these, right? And it's like super simple characters, and I used to, you know, just draw them in anything from like, you know, pop culture stuff like Skrillex, and then like superheroes, and just stuff for like random people. I did Deadmau, Zombie Panda, Earthworm Jim, the Hulk, Charmander, Rorschach. So I did all these like minions. So it's really simple for me to like go in and change them into like, especially a donut. This is essentially what the donut character is. Oh, and then I also do like zombie candies and stuff like that. I've never really saw what pops up whenever I Google stuff with my name. This is really cool. But oh, this is from TeePublic. Yeah. So Thor, Batman, Grumpy Cat, you know, so I did all these. So doing these concepts is really fun at the same time because it's very similar to it. So a fan expo in Toronto, huh? That'd be awesome. I would so do something like that. I'm like ready to travel and like check out different things, man. Like I've been like really considering moving from San Diego, mostly because it's really expensive to live here. And there's really like, I mean, I have my family here, but other than family and like a handful of friends, there's really nothing keeping me here. What type of donut should he be? I'm gonna say like a caramel donut because, you know, he's a Mexican donut. But I don't know. What kind of donut should he be? It's like super expensive to just live here. It's for like a one-bedroom apartment that's not in the shitty part of town. You're already paying like $1,300 a month. And I heard for like, you know, other friends that live in like New Mexico and like Houston, they're paying like $650 for a freaking house, you know, like a 2-bedroom house, you know, which means that for like a studio apartment, which is all I need because I don't have, you know, kids, I don't have a wife, it would just like be like $400-500 a month, and it would make things a lot simpler. Not having to worry about making a massive amount of money to pay rent every month, which sucks. But at the same time, you know, you kind of pay for the living conditions. Like, the weather is amazing. Like, traffic is minimal. People keep to themselves, so we don't have to worry too much about that. But at the same time, it's just like, man, like the possibilities of, you know, living somewhere else and not having to worry about that aspect of it. It always calls out to me. Like maybe moving to Texas, but I don't know, man. Texas is too hot. I'm so spoiled. Oh, God damn it again.
Guys, thanks for making our new French toast 100% real, just like pro wrestling.
Yeah.
I think that this the reason that it cuts out, it's because of the ads that pop up, and it like messes with the player. I think that's the reason that it cuts out. Are you guys all still there? Can you guys hear me? Just checking. Hello, hello. Is the stream still working? Okay, cool. Yeah, every single time that it goes into a commercial for you guys, I think that's when it's messing up. Can't wait to just be like a Twitch partner at some point, and then you don't get all that shit. No, that's too much. See, one cool tip that I heard from people is that when it comes down to highlights and shadows, highlights show an object's texture, and shadows give an object shape. And it took a while for me to understand what that meant, but that's true. Like, shadows are what give depth to an illustration, and highlights are the ones that give it the texture of everything. So this wouldn't look wet unless I added the highlights. If I add shadows to it, let's say that go and add like slight shadows, that's what adds shape to the character, or depth. That's really cool. Okay, so we have our mariachi one. What should be the next one? I think the chat just kind of like refreshes, so every single time that I do this, so I can't see what you guys put. Is this the chat? I just got Twitch, so I could not. This is. An alien. Evil Grandmaster. A Grandmaster of what? Should it be like... Okay, so let's see what we have so far. So we have 3. So we're going to do one more. Zombie... Scale this guy down. We're gonna do one more, and we'll make that one like the biggest one. So shoot me a couple ideas, and then we'll select from them. We gotta make the canvas a little bit bigger. Let's apply transformation, edit, change canvas size, height, let's make this 20, so we can fit them all. Alright, we're gonna do one more, and we'll do a bigger one right here with a little bit more detail, and we'll make it like all cool and stuff. So shoot me some ideas. I want to know a couple different ones, and then we will call it a day. Then we're gonna move this down, scale this up since we're gonna be using it a little bit bigger. You want one donut right there. So what would be the ultimate villain to a ninja? Like, if we see it like really, really straight up, right? I'm imagining something like something technology, maybe like a techno freak or like a robot donut or something like that, but not sure. What should it be, guys? Let's just clear. Just keep one. A robot rooster. I like the idea of the evil wizard. I kind of like that. So we're gonna go with that. Okay, so we have that. An evil wizard donut. And I kind of like that just because I'm a huge fan of like Final Fantasy and stuff like that. So let's see. And wizard hats are awesome. And because they're all floppy and big. Remember, if you guys are having issues with drawing hats and stuff like that, just draw through your object. You can always go in and delete, delete it again. But as long as you're drawing through it, you know that you're like gonna be drawing the like shapes right. So what makes a wizard evil? It's not a riddle. I'm curious. What do you guys think makes a wizard evil? What would be some general traits that make a wizard evil? Large eyebrows? I think that's a ongoing theme with drawings today. A staff, right? Magical staff of some sorts. Normally like crooked and stuff. What else makes a magical dude? Rings under the eyes as well, dark under eyes, typical staff for a weapon, power hungry, so like an evil grin. So an evil grin. I know something about evil grins. And he said bags under the eyes. What type of donut would he be? A double chocolate. We already did a couple chocolate ones, so I don't want to do more chocolate. Some skull. I'll do. Do a skull on the upper part of this. Okay, so we have that. What else? What else? What else? I have to go. Had Blast Rod. Thank you for showing the Manga Studio. Alright guys, so don't worry about it. This is going to be the last drawing anyway, so you're not missing out on much. A purple donut? I mean, purple would kind of like fit. So it would kind of go in with the blueberry. So let's just make it a blueberry donut. And then we'll make the frosting into like a beard. Yeah, there you go. Kind of like that. You guys should super heavy eyebrows, right? Should we give them sprinkles too? Just to add to the playfulness of it? This one's too long. Not thick enough. Let's see. A black licorice donut. I'm pretty sure it's probably an existing type of donut. Oh god, like, oh gross. Like, black licorice is so gross. I hate black licorice. It's probably the worst candy out there. It's just so gross. And we'll probably use this one as the cover for the video on YouTube. So there's two ways that you guys can go ahead and clean up line work when you guys work like this. There's obviously just going in, making a new layer, and just cleaning it up. And just inking, you know, over the line work, just making this like, you know, really, really light, and then just tracing over it, which is fine. Or you guys can just go into your line work. And I'm starting to like this a little bit more the more I do it. It's more just, I kind of leave a little bit of the rough lines in there, and then just allow the sketchiness to show. And I really, really like that. Just because it, I don't know, it just gives it like a fun look to it. And when you add the color, it just, I mean, it might not look super clean, but it's pretty fun. I like it. Which is ironic because I actually play pretty healthy. But is like black licorice healthy for you? Ugh. Yeah, we'll give it some points. Why not? We'll give him some points. Why not? I like coins. So it'll be like a devil. A devil wizard. A warlock. There you go. Do you guys remember that Final Fantasy character BB? From like Final Fantasy 9, I think? I used to love that guy. It's like pretty much all the black mages from Final Fantasy. They're awesome. Like I haven't played the last couple ones, just mostly because I haven't had the time to. But, ah man, I need to catch up on those. I wish that my life was so simple where I could just draw every day, right? Just draw random stuff, get paid for it, and then be able to sit down and just play video games all day. Like, I play a lot of League of Legends. That's probably the one game that I play the most. It's mostly because I can just sit down, play a game, and turn it off. Yeah, if you guys play League, you guys feel free to play with me. Yeah, I don't think Wings would actually, like, you know, add to it. Right at this point, I think he has enough elements that he looks evil. But, you know, like, Wings out of... That could be something that, like, if I do get to develop this character a little bit more, that'd be something really cool to, like... to use as a... What do you call it? Like a power that he has or something like that. Okay, so we have this, so we don't need that anymore. Like I said, this one's gonna be just a little bit more detail than the other two. The other, you know, 5 or so that we did. 6? Did we do 6? I think we did 6. It's always nice to like provide, you know, a lot of samples and then provide one where, you know, you can present your idea in the way that you want it. Like your preferred one. And we're going to erase this line right here. After we set the color, we're going to erase that line. So we're not too worried about that. we're gonna connect the arm like there. There's one rule that someone, like, back in the day when I used to do caricatures, there was this girl called Anne that taught me a very basic lesson that I'm pretty sure she didn't even try to teach me. It was just like a passing comment that she did. Symmetry is overrated, and it certainly is. Yeah, standards of beauty, when it comes down to human beings in today's society, it's like whoever has the most symmetrical features in their face, their body, blah 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 blah, it's considered the most beautiful. But not to me. Like, if you don't have like a certain flaw, if you're like perfect, I don't want anything to do with you. There's like nothing interesting about perfect people. I'm gonna give this guy a list. You gotta move on. And what kind of evil sorcerer wouldn't have like a gem or something on his staff, right? Yeah, most humans do, like most people in general, like conceives, like to the standards of beauty that society provides. And I mean, you can't blame them. That's what we all were brought up with. But I don't know. In my 30-something years of experience, I have found that most of the time, if the person is too perfect, when it comes down to like, how they like try to perceive themselves, either one of the two, they're faking it, or they are trying way too hard to like keep up that persona, and they tend to come out as fake, and it's just, it always ends up like showing through. Let's give them some fangs too. And I'm very good at reading through people's bullshit because I have nothing but time on my hands. So it's like, I rarely, very rarely meet people that I can tolerate for longer than a couple, hours at a time. It's maybe like a handful of them that I don't mind spending like entire days with in my life right now. But for the most part, it's like I can tolerate you for a couple hours and then get the fuck out of my life. Get the fuck out of here. Okay, we're almost ready to add color to this. Let's just let's not give it eyes because that personifies it, and it's just a staff. Okay. Let's clean up the hand a little bit, and then we'll get to coloring, and then that'll be our final piece. Okay, so we decided on a blueberry donut for this guy, right? So a blueberry donut. So that'd be like blueberries a little bit better. Yeah, something like that. As you can see, I'm just covering everything. Like I said, I like going through the process of going in and deleting by hand. I mean, you can do it super simple otherwise. So let's say you have this, right, but you want to delete it, so you select the last layer, just select the parts that you don't want color in. Okay. Inside of here, inside of here, inside of here, out of here. For the most part, I think, no, we want color there. So we take that and then just go back to your layer, clear it. No, clear it. Boom. So you can do it like that. You know, that's fine. It's just another way of approaching it, but I enjoy just going in and making sure the details are nice and set. Let's see, we have that. Yes. We have an extra line that we forgot to delete. And I'm gonna go in. Okay. That. Let's see. Did you see more comics? Comics or cartoons? I probably read more watched more cartoons than comics. But when I was little, I had a cousin, his name Felipe, that had every comic imaginable, like, to me. Like, he had all the Spider-Man ones, he had all the X-Men ones. Geez, he like had a ridiculous amount of comics, and I think he still does. And I used to love just sitting there reading comics all day, every day that I was there. And he's also the one that introduced me to manga and anime. So I watched, the classics like Ranma Half and Project Eiko and Neon Genesis Evangelion and Tenchi Muyo. Like, man, there was like so many cool like stuff that I did like that. But recently I am definitely more into cartoons than comics. I just caught up on Steven Universe, and I love seeing all the DC animated movies. I think my favorite one is Flashpoint Paradox right now. That one's probably my favorite. It's just super cool. Even though DC has horrible live action movies, I think their animated movies are way better than any Marvel ones. Okay, let's bring this guy back. Let's get the donut look. And normally, if I was working on a serious project, I would set all the colors in their own layers, so I can just go in and change any color that I wanted respectively. But since these are just quick comps, I'm not too worried about that. And when it comes down to coloring details, just always go big to small. fill in the bigger areas and then worry about like coloring the smaller details. That way you can just go in, delete, erase. But if you have to go back, like double up and then go back and redo small details because you already like colored before them, it just takes a lot longer. Okay, that's looking good. This belt buckle would be white, or in this case it would probably be like a gold, but I'll just keep it simple. Super simple shading. The jewel should be like a yellow, I think. And on top of that, we'll give it like special powers. Go back to this guy. Give it a little bit more detail. Slight shadows. To make the frosting look more like blech. And to add a little bit of depth to them. It's casting a shadow. This one could probably cover a lot more than that's that. Just be like. What was the cartoon that inspired me the most? See, that's a tough question, because whenever I look at cartoons, I don't really necessarily feel inspired. Inspiration to me has been something that has been pretty much lost. It's weird. Like, I set myself in a journey when I was in college to catch up to people because, I was not very good. And that whole process took me, through the process of being able to draw without inspiration. And that kind of, ruined inspiration for me. Because I no longer get these bouts of oh my god, I want to go draw and I gotta do this and I gotta do that. I just don't get it. Not anymore. It's more like, oh, cool, I gotta draw this. I don't have anything to draw, so okay, well, we'll draw this. And if I'm really stuck for some odd reason, which doesn't happen often, but if I'm super stuck and I don't know what to draw, I'll just kind of randomly browse through Pinterest or Instagram, and then just start looking at other artists that are way better than me, and that's what inspires me. Seeing that somebody is way better than me, and then at that point I'm just I can't let this person be better than me, and then I get back on, and then I'm just it's technically inspiration through competition, I guess. But that's more so how I work than not. Whenever I look at a cartoon or a movie or anything like that, I just enjoy it for what it is. Source of entertainment for me for the foreseeable future. Not necessarily, doesn't necessarily inspire me to want to create anything. But I'm weird though. I'm definitely not like the norm when it comes down to stuff like that. Like, a lot of people see things and they feel super inspired and like driven by other artists. On the other hand, like, my drive comes more from seeing people that are more successful than me or like way better, and then the drive comes from me wanting to get to that level. No eyes. And but he's a magician after all. There you go. Cool. Well, I think with that, we are done with this guy. What do you guys think? Any other details you guys want added before we call it a day? Let's see. I'm just gonna answer a couple questions from you guys. I like cartoons. They encourage Cowardly Dog. Courage the Cowardly Dog was also really, really good. I used to like it a lot. Which was the one that inspired you the most? Not many, but I remember like the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy was a big, like I like that style a lot. But when I was in college, it kind of hindered me a lot too, because I tried to replicate it way too much, and it just ended up like limiting me to what I was doing instead of just wrong layer. Instead of just doing what I was supposed to and learning, I kind of let myself like fall into the trap of wanting to draw a certain style and then just wanted to stick to that style, and it just kind of like blew up in my face, because I should have like practiced more on my normal stuff like perspective and anatomy, other than trying to just like learn to draw that one style and then think that I was good enough with that. But I did that a lot when I was in college. Hey Rodgon, how would you know when to apply shadows and highlights on a person or object? Well, a big thing is that if you want something to look real, use reference. Like, if you can take like pictures of what you're trying to put shadows on, or something that resembles it, and then use that as a reference to be able to get the lighting and like shadows perfect, because that's the only way you're going to be able to get the absolute best, ideal shadows and lighting. Doing it from memory is always iffy, and you're never going to get the exact detail that you want. It's just not going to happen, because it doesn't happen. It's like a very difficult thing to like do. I want to give them sprinkles. But yeah, like, practice with actual. It has to be different colored sprinkles. It can't be closer to the highlights. Yellow, red, straight up white, blue, green. See, this is when like issues like this is when I come up with like problems. I'm not very good with colors, so when it comes down to like adding like little details that just require colors instead of color instead of like lines, it's always like frustrating to me. That's why I want to make that like one challenge to myself. And then just draw like at least one thing every day without any line work. And maybe by the end of it, I'll be pretty good at it. There you go. Perfect. Okay. And where to apply them? Well, like I said, it's just a matter of actually learning lighting, but it's not just that. It's a matter of like learning lighting and then actually using reference too. If you do that, you'll be able to, you know, like paint live shadows really, really well. And yeah, it's a pain in the ass sometimes to get the reference, you know, but it's worth the time investment if you want something to look perfect. Alright guys, well, as you can see, we are, yeah, that's fine. Boom, boom, merge it. Let's turn that on, merge it. Cool. Okay, so we have that in its own layer. Let's turn on all the other ones. And let's move them around, make them a little bit more presentable. Apply. Boom, boom. But this will be the end of the stream, guys and girls. Thank you so much for being here with me. You guys helped me out a lot. I love sharing my ideas and sharing my thoughts with you guys. I will be posting up a streaming schedule, and it'll probably be maybe like 2 days out of the week. And one day will be on my actual sketchbook, and then another one will be projects like these, where I share how I'm doing, you know, projects with you guys. So hopefully you guys actually liked what you saw today. You guys can, if you guys missed it, you guys are probably watching this on YouTube. But other than that, thank you so much, guys. I appreciate everything. Please, you know, go, you know, sign up for my YouTube channel if you guys haven't, you know, done it yet. It's Rodgon the Artist on YouTube, Rodgon the Artist on Instagram. And if you guys, yeah, like my stuff, go check it out. Tell friends if you guys want. Obviously, it helps me. But thank you. You guys rock. And I will catch you guys in the next one, okay? Later, guys.